This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV Prime.
Hello and welcome. You're watching The Property Show, your trusted guide with the most credible advice on buying and selling property. Our advice is backed by solid research done by our knowledge partner, License for Us. And to answer your questions, we have Nemunisa Khan, Head Research and Consultancy South, License for Us, in studio with us. Welcome to the show, Nemun. But before we start answering your questions, let's take a look at what we have for you today in the show. Is the Delhi government dragging its feet on implementing the land pooling policy? We bring you a ground report. Properties in a crore plus budget at Gurgaon's Sona Road and SPR. Luxury 4 BHK options for end use in Ghaziabad. From north, we travel to west and find out why is Ahmedabad market turning out to be a preferred choice for home buyers. We get you affordable 2 BHK options in Pune. Also, we look at the Rajarhat property market in Kolkata. So let's begin our show with our first caller. We have Preeti Dua with us. Preeti, please go ahead and ask your question.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
I'm looking for a 3 BHK unit in sector 71 Gurgaon. My budget is 85 lakhs.
And have you shortlisted something?
Yes, CHD1.
Okay. So, Nemun, they've seen CHD1, they sort of like it, and the budget is about, from the mail that we'd gotten, it's about 1.1 crore. So, what do you suggest, which area would be good for her?
See, I think the area that she has picked, Sona Road, it's suitable for her in that budget. In fact, I think the project in which she's talking about, the CHD1 itself, because it is nearing completion, the superstructure work is already going on in the project, the price of the project is slightly high, whereas the average price of the location is around 7,700 rupees per square foot as a Sona Road. And I think if she's looking for investment, then it is very unlikely that this price is going to move up in the recent future, because if you look at the available inventory out here, it's around 9,900 units of available units, translating to a overhang of around 66 months, which means almost 5 to 6 years of inventory is already there in this market. And currently, because this is a developing area, I'm sure there'll be a lot of new launches that will pour in, and eventually the supply side of this market will grow drastically. So I would say that if you're looking at a long-term horizon, then it's a decent location to be in. Specifically to the project, I would say that the area around the project is very underdeveloped, and the settlements around are mostly villages. You have like clusters of habitation in and around, and there's also an STP in this area. So I would say that I would be more neutral to this project in case of investment if you're looking at. But if you're looking at an affordable project, then it is fine, because the price point is a good bet for an end use. I think apart from this, in the same location, we've also picked 2 more projects for you, which you can consider as an option to CHD1 by the names of Paris Irene and Tulip Violet. Paris Irene will be in sector 70, whereas Tulip Violet is in the similar close by location of sector 69. Whereas Tulip Violet would actually is already completed, so you may have an option of resale also in this project, and some families are already living in, which might, work out decently for you if you are an end user in this market.
Okay, so let's take a look at what Nemun is suggesting. CHD1 is of course there, but in case you want something else, and Nemun recommends these projects. First is Paris Irene, and the price over here is 5,700 rupees per square foot. And the unit size for a 2 BHK is 1,830 square feet. Now this particular project is spread over 8 acres and it's about 5.3 kilometers from Omak city center and about 4 kilometers from Sector 56 Chowk bus stop. And Sector 56 is a fairly developed area, so that's kind of important for you. The other option we've got for you is Tulip Violet. Now the price over here is 7,000 rupees per square foot, and the unit size for a 3 BHK is 1,578 square foot. This particular project is spread over 25 acres and the location is more or less the same as the ones we have suggested earlier. Now let's go ahead and take our next caller on air. We have Ashish Bakshi with us. Ashish, please go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, very good evening to you, ma'am. I sent a mail for a query on a mail also. We're eyeing for 4+1 in ATS Indirapuram. And what I mentioned in the query was also that we are unable to get the right price, actually. We had a word with a couple of agents there, and we are just unable to get what exactly is the right price per square feet in that project. We are eyeing for something more than 3,000 square feet.
Okay. So, Nemun, they've already shortlisted a project, but they're not sure about the price that they're getting there. And that's fairly understandable because, you know, you get so many inputs from property dealers, papers and everywhere. So, what do you say is the right weighted average price for that area as such?
See, the weighted average price for this area is around 5,300 rupees per square foot. But this is for projects which are in the average category in this area. But this particular project that he's talking about by ATS, the ATS Advantage, it is one of the best projects to live in Indirapuram. It is strategically located. The amenities that they're providing are quite high-end, and certainly it also carries the brand value of ATS. So this particular project is priced slightly high. I think if you look at an all-inclusive price, it will be around 7,000 rupees per square foot for this project. And at the size that you're looking at, 3,000 square foot for a 4 BHK, it would be around 2.1 CR all-inclusive. I think your stamp duty and registration would be over and above this, but this is all-inclusive of maintenance, car park and all the other clubhouse charges and maintenance charges as well. So I think it's a decent buy because in Indirapuram itself, it's one of the best locations to live in Ghaziabad. It has a well-established infrastructure. Currently, if you see the available units out here in terms of inventory overhang, it's around 5,000 units. The appreciation has been nominal. It's at 0.8%. But again, this is the end-user driven market. So I think in terms of end use, you should definitely look into this. Your rental returns might be good in this area. And apart from that, I think you can also consider Shipra Shrishti, which is a property which is within Shipra Sun City, which is a landmark project in Ghaziabad, and this is going to be available to you in resale. It's not a very old project, it's just completed in 2015. And you can also consider World Residency. This project I think is in finishing stages and it will get completed in few months or so. So this might also be a good option.
Okay, so let's take a closer look at the projects that Nemun is suggesting. First one is Shipra Shrishti, and the price that you're getting over there is 5,500 rupees per square foot. And in case you go for a 4 BHK plus property, then you get about 3,000 square feet in that. Now, as Nemun told you, this particular project is in a residential township which is spread over 12.5 acres. The other option that we've got for you is World Residency, and the price that you're getting there is 5,500 rupees per square foot, and the unit size for a 4 BHK plus flat is 2,500 square feet. Now, this particular project is spread over 3.5 acres, and one interesting thing about this project is that the developer is offering a buy today, shift tomorrow scheme. Now, that basically means that they will pay for the rent in any comparable society in the vicinity till their project is complete. So, that could be a good option for you in case you're already living on rent. Let's go ahead and talk more about Delhi. The land pooling policy was seen as a landmark policy that would resolve issues of infrastructure and housing to a great extent for the fast-growing capital city, Delhi. The idea was landowners would pool their land and give it to Delhi Development Authority, that is DDA. DDA in turn would develop the land by providing roads, parks, power supply and sewage treatment plants and return 48 to 60% of the land to the owners. About 25,000 hectares or 62,000 acres of land falling in 4 zones K1, L, P1 and P2, predominantly in Dwarka and parts of Narela and North Delhi, would be covered under the policy. Besides infrastructure development, the government was also hoping to build about 20 lakh dwelling units in the next 10 to 15 years. 2 years after being cleared by the Urban Development Ministry, the policy remains a policy on paper. What are the reasons for the hold-up? Is it the lack of political will? Is it the Delhi government dragging its feet? And what is at stake? Moinitam Oja finds out.
This is Delhi's L zone in Dwarka region. Now, under the land pooling policy, this is where the maximum amount of land will be pooled so that the DDA can develop this area and come up with the proposed housing projects. But 2 years later, the policy remains where it was. This is because the Delhi government has not yet notified the 184 villages as urban development areas. Now, why the delay and what does it mean? Let us now go across and speak to politicians and experts and find out more.
ये बहुत ही एक एम्बिशियस प्रोजेक्ट है डीडीए का और दिल्ली के अंदर जो अनधिकृत बस्तियां अनऑथराइज्ड कॉलोनीज का जो एक्सपेंशन हो रहा है, जो ये जो गोरख धंधा चल रहा है लैंड माफिया का, अनऑथराइज्ड कॉलोनीज बनाने कॉलोनाइजर्स का, वो पूरी तरह फल फूल रहा है। जो प्लान डेवलपमेंट हो सकता है उसकी बजाय दिल्ली की सरकार अनप्लान्ड ग्रोथ को बढ़ावा दे रही है।
So what could be the solution? What could be the way forward?
सॉल्यूशन ये है कि ये गवर्नमेंट को इस पर अपना लाइन ऑफ एक्शन क्लियर करना चाहिए। इन्होंने क्यों होल्ड किया है, क्यों नहीं चाहते ये दिल्ली में गरीबों को मकान मिले।
Operationally, 2 things need to be done. A, the Delhi government needs to notify 89, 95 villages as urbanizable villages. Today, by classification, they are rural, and it is just a technical need. It is not something that cannot be done because it has been notified under the master plan. 2, once the Delhi government does it, the DDA must take over and get into the micro planning at the sector level, etc., create infrastructure, roads. If they don't have the in-house expertise, they need to enlist planners, global experts on infrastructure, in terms of water, electricity, social housing, schools, etc., etc.
In the last few decades, Delhi's population has gone from 60 lakh to 1.7 crore. The current infrastructure and housing accommodates only 1.5 crore people. The rest have no choice but to move into the slums and unauthorized colonies. By the end of 2021, this population is expected to rise up to 2.5 crore. But if the politics continues to hold Delhi's land to ransom, then it will be impossible to accommodate 80 lakh more people and to provide them with housing and adequate social and physical infrastructure. Let's move ahead. Let's talk about Lucknow now. We have an email from Deepak Chaube and he wants to purchase a 3 BHK apartment in Lucknow with a budget of around 60 lakhs. Nemun, he says that he's going to stay in Lucknow for the next 3 years only, and after that he's going to put that flat on rent. Right now he's working at Sitapur Road and wants to retire and really wants to invest in his future because he's thinking about 15 years ahead. He's already shortlisted El Deco City Breeze and Shalimar Garden Bay apartment. Now he wants to know, out of these two, would you recommend, which project would you recommend? And apart from that, he's also confused about the area because he's talking about investing in Amar Shahid Park, but sometimes he talks about other areas. So first and foremost, clarify which area would be best suited for him.
See, if you compare the Gomti Nagar extension and IIM Road, I think IIM Road, where both these projects, El Deco and Shalimar, the ones that he had selected, they are located. I think in terms of a developed area, we would rank IIM Road higher when compared to Gomti Nagar extension, which is still developing. Although the infrastructure out there is very promising and it's also developing as a sports hub, I think investing in a developed area would be much better, because the appreciation that you will see would be nice, and even the rental returns might be very good because of limited supply in this particular location. So I think yes, we'll suggest you to go ahead with IM Road itself in North Lucknow. And to share the data points, the average price out here is around 3,100 rupees per square foot. The inventory overhang is around 5,000 units. The annualized returns currently has been pretty nominal. It's around 0.2%. In fact, if you see at both these projects, Eldeco and Shalimar, they are a part of an integrated township, and location-wise and project-wise, both of them have similar advantages. So, in fact, I think Eldeco City, you can say, is closer to the main road, whereas Shalimar Garden relatively is a little inside. But I think both of them are fundamentally strong projects, so you can go with either of them, whichever is providing you a layout where you are comfortable with the layout. I think that's how you can pick. Even you can compare the carpet areas that both these projects are providing. So I think do that site visit and understand the layout for yourselves. We are giving you go ahead for both these projects. And I think if you are looking at something which is priced slightly lower than these two, then you can look at Crest Exotica, which is in the same location, but it is priced slightly lower than these two, because the completion date is a little far off. It might get completed by 2019. So if you can wait, even this is a decent option to consider.
Okay, so let's quickly take a closer look at Crest Exotica. The price here is 3,200 rupees per square foot. And in case you buy a 3 BHK unit, you get about 1690 square feet as area. Now, as we were telling you, this particular project is located within Eldeco City and on IM Road. And it's about 1.5 kilometers from Sitapur, which is your current workplace. So this might be a good option for you. We quickly want to remind our viewers that if they're looking to buy a property or need any advice on buying or selling a home, then please do write to us at property@ndtv.com. Please don't forget to leave your full name and contact number so that our team can get in touch with you. Now, let's go ahead and take our next caller on air. We have Shekhar Suman with us. Go ahead, Shekhar. What do you want to know?
Actually, I am an entrepreneur, and I just started in 2014. And right now, I am willing to buy a flat in Kolkata, probably in Rajarhat, New Town, or your Baliganj area by 2019. And annually, I can invest or I can opt for something of saving around 10 lakh rupees, either through mutual funds or through other routes. So what would be the best option for me, where to go for a flat in Kolkata, and whereas my business is of content development and all.
Okay. So what did you say your budget was?
Budget is 1 crore.
Okay, great. So definitely. Now, Nemun, what do you think? Within that budget, the area that he's basically focusing on, he should be able to get something really good there.
Certainly, Anjali. See, the average price out here is around 3,600 rupees per square foot. And if you, the kind of amenities and infrastructure that you're getting in Rajarhat and the New Town areas in North Calcutta, I think it's a very good deal, because most of the old parts of Calcutta, they are facing crumbling infrastructure issues, a lot of traffic jams, and because the New Town is well laid and it's a planned development, the infrastructure out here is very, very decent. And lately there has been a lot of end user demand that has that's working because of a push factor, because of these civic infrastructure issues in the main city as well, towards Rajarhat and New Town. I think it's a decent option to go with. However, if you look at the inventory overhang out here, it's around 51 months of inventory overhang with around 11,000 available units in this particular area. And the annualized returns has also been negative -3%. So I would say that the supply is much larger when compared to the demand in this location. So if you're investing here, please have a long-term perspective. A short-term superlative return may not be possible in this area. But if you're looking at a long-term, it's a decent area to go ahead with. I think we've picked up 3 projects for you which are in the under construction stage itself, and the 2 BHKs out here are in a compact size so that they fit your budget decently. The names are On the House Sunday, then there is Bellagio Level Next, and there is also one decent project of a branded developer, Tata of India. This is slightly away from the new town, but I think the price is also slightly high, but the kind of amenities and the brand value it has to offer, I think it's a decent option to consider. You can have a visit and then decide.
Okay, so let's quickly take a look at these 3 projects and their prices and sizes so that you can compare yourself. First one is On the House Sunday, and the price you're getting here is 4,800 rupees per square foot, and the unit size for a 3 BHK ranges from 1,460 to 1,580 square feet. Now, this particular project is spread over 1.78 acres, and it's not very far away from the international airport, under 6 kilometers. So this is a decent location. Now, the other project that we've got for you is Bellagio LVL NXT. Now, this particular project, this is retailing at 4,700 rupees per square foot, and the unit size for a 3 BHK ranges from 1,483 to 1,783 square feet. The third option that Nemun is suggesting to you is Tata Avenida, and this particular project has a price tag of 6,145 rupees per square foot, and the unit size for a 3 BHK is 1,635. So that's a fairly big price difference. So do look at them, do compare them, and then make up your mind. So it's time for a short break now, but when we come back, we visit the property markets of Ahmedabad and find out what's the latest buzz.